let's talk about the NFC West.
Ooh, I still think the most exciting division in football.
And you know what? It's not getting any less so.
Yes.
Let's do this alphabetically.
Let's do it.
Arizona.
Yeah.
They got some needs.
They have needs. A surprise team this past fall.
Yeah,
But really, they really do need to fill in a lot of gaps.
Yeah, let's start with their rushing offense. 30th in the NFL in rush offense DVOA, last in yards per carry.
Right.
And that's kind of a twin need. They need a running back, more of a Andre Ellington.
You think it's a running back thing or an interior offensive line thing?
It's a both thing.
Okay, fair enough.
They need both a running back who can handle the ball on every down more than Andre Ellington,
Yes.
and they also need offensive guards and centers.
Yeah.
In the middle of that line, they've got great tackle play, but Jonathan Cooper has suffered every single injury known to man, and they need some more talent and depth.
I would like to see them, if they need to trade down, whatever it is, go after guards, go after defensive nose tackles, all that kind of stuff, defensive tackles. They need to get large.
Get those big, meaty anchors
Yes.
in the lines. Yes.
Big, meaty anchor makes me uncomfortable when you say it like that. I don't know. Okay, next team.
San Francisco.
Yes.
How about a wide receiver?
That's been every year. Is H.A. Jenkins the answer? Are we positive he's not? Are we positive?
Michael Crabtree is, of course, leaving in free agency. And aside from their success with Anquan Bolden, who is just indestructible.
Yes, he is.
They haven't had
a game-breaking guy you can count on. You know, Crabtree had his own injury issues through the years. They're going to a new offensive system with Harbaugh, obviously, and Greg Roman gone, moving away from so much power. So it is a new era, and they are losing Mike Upati, all-pro left guard.
Speaking of needs,
That's huge.
Let's throw offensive guard in the mix there, because Alex Boone is 1 year left on his deal. He's not
The
great.
NFC West pretty much needs guards. That's where we are right now.
Because people get eaten alive in the NFC
This is
West.
true.
Also, let's throw in defensive end. Justin Smith facing retirement. Ray McDonald cuts.
Gone.
Ooh, and that's not
Corners
a fun
also with free agency. There's a
Yeah.
lot of needs to go around in San Francisco. This has been their big year that they've been worried about with free agency with the guys leaving.
Cornerback Parrish Cox and Chris Culliver are both free agents. And it's worth noting on the defensive line, Tank Carradine is probably going to be really good, but still needs some depth there.
Yeah, they've drafted really well along the line. I would continue Balky to really scout well here.
Up next, my Seattle Seahawks.
Your Seattle Seahawks. What do they need?
This is a story of a team that has a lot of young talent. However, that young talent has turned into the second contract. So as they lock up the Russell Wilsons, the Bobby Wagners, they need some talent in the draft, and they need some successful ones.
And the reason why they've been so successful is they've drafted so well and get so much out of rookie contract guys.
So at wide receiver, they of course sent Percy Harvin away, let Golden Tate leave in free agency. They just don't have enough talent wide receiver.
Right, Paul Richardson they draft last year, suffers another ACL injury, a second-round pick. Yeah.
Same ACL twice in 3 years, and that happened in January. He's not going to be back this year.
Right, and the thing about Seattle is they've drafted receiver, they've scouted receiver well enough that they do find those gems later on or as undrafted free agents. But when you're filling in pieces right now, it never hurts to have a game-breaking receiver, even if it's not in the first round.
Yeah, so that,
second, third, fourth round.
The final play of the Super Bowl wasn't decided by Ricardo Lockett's ability to get a pass.
That's fair enough.
They need some help at guard. James Carpenter has been a draft bust / injured.
For where he was drafted, yes.
And entering free agency this year. He's actually come around in the run game, but as pass protect, they're probably going to let him go. So
for a team that is Super Bowl caliber and ready, they need to have more complete offensive linemen along that line.
And the other hole that might be opening up for them is Byron Maxwell.
Yeah.
He's a free agent. It's going to be really tough to re-sign him. If he leaves, the next man up is going to be Jeremy Lane, who had, I believe he lost his arm in the Super Bowl.
Oops.
And then the next man after that is Harold Simon, who gets eaten alive by a good quarterback.
Yeah, and it's not a good corner draft, by the way. So this is a draft Seattle might be trying to find the gems 4th, 5th round, like they've done.
Which is what they've done.
Yes.
And then the last team in this division, St. Louis, is surprisingly close to being a fully functional Death Star.
Yeah, they feel like they're like just lurking. They're just waiting. Their eyes are peering through the bushes.
They're a quarterback and a competent offensive coordinator away from being essentially a playoff team.
They lose Brian Schottenheimer, their offensive coordinator last year.
Which is a big step up.
Yes, that is a big step. Quarterback is an issue. The right side of their offensive line, a big issue. But defensively, you really have to like where the Rams are.
I do. And so the quarterback position, a lot of it's going to come down to restructuring Sam Bradford's contract. but he's so injury prone that
Yeah.
you can't expect to get a full season out of him.
They're going to have to invest in a quarterback this season.
And the offensive line. Jake Long looks to be a likely roster cut.
Yeah, he's pretty much gone.
Greg Robinson and Roger Saffold will make up the left side of the line,
Right.
but center through right tackle, they need talent and depth.
Yeah, and I like Trey Mason a lot, who appears to be the answer at running back.
Oh, and how?
There is just that one big piece at quarterback that if the Rams are able to solve that, whether it's a healthy Sam Bradford, well, it's somebody they grab early on in this year's draft, that's all they need.
By the time they get to Los Angeles, they could be the best team in the NFC West.
Oh, that you're going there.
That was low.
It is actually true.
That's our review of NFC West team needs, and
Yes.
that is our first show of future consideration for the year.
It felt great.
Oh, I'm getting into it for this year.
We're also blue too. I like it.
Yeah, thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.